Hello everyone, it's me Speedy Gear here for a new series called Valheim. So Valheim is a multiplayer survival crafting game based on the Vikings. So this is still in early access, as you can see on here on the right side of the starting screen. So there might be a little few bugs there, but all in all, in Steam, it's getting a lot of positive reviews. So far, I did play this for a couple hours. Me and my friend have enjoyed it, and I'm not the best at it. So why don't you join me for a wonderful adventure in the Viking world? Here, so we're gonna create a new character here. Of course, gonna name him Speedy Gear. So the game is very pixelized. Its graphics, it's not its strongest selling point, to say the least, but it is it's not what I came here. It's about the survival aspect really. And crafting. It's such a breath of fresh air, you know, for all the games that we have. I'm not gonna put any beards really, because I have a little stubble here, but and I don't think Vikings have. This is probably like the first Viking that you'll see that doesn't have any beards at all. Can't see really any. I like the hair, that's for sure. I'm trying to grow my own ponytail, long hair, sure. So I'm gonna go with that. Not blind at all, but let's go the dark. It's alright. There's not a whole lot of customization for characters here, but hopefully they will add into it. So that's my new character here. I'm gonna click start, and this is the servers that I created with my friends here. So I'm gonna create a new one. Just name it Let's Play, so I don't confuse it with any when I play with my friends. If you guys want to follow it with this seed, you can copy this seed. It's random. You can put anything there if you wanted to. Oh, why don't we put Speedy Gear as well? Hopefully it brings out something hot and fresh. If you click the start server, it'll let your friends, your Steam friends, join you. Community server, if you click that on, it will let the whole Steam community able to join your server. But we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna play by ourselves here. And maybe if I can bring one of my friends to join me in some episodes, that'll be awesome too, but that's for another time. Gonna load here for a bit. Like I said, if you are going to play Valheim, please keep an open mind for bugs and stuff. For the time that I played, I think it's less than 20 hours. I haven't experienced anything that's kind of game breaking really, so it's going in the right direction. It started in the right foot too, so I am very, very excited for this game. I am a little bit late to the boat, so to say, in making a series like this, but better late than never, right? It is taking quite a bit here to load, but I guess it is because it's generating the world, because every map is randomly generated based on the seed that you put in there. You read there, long ago, the All-Father Odin united the worlds. He threw down his foes and cast them into the 10th world, then split the boughs that held their prison to the world tree and left it to dirt and anchored, a place of exile. For centuries, this world slumbered uneasily, but it did not die. As glacial ages passed, kingdoms rose and fell out of sight of the gods. When Odin heard his enemies were growing once again in strength, he looked to Midgard and sent his Valkyries to scour the battlefields for the greatest of their warriors dead to the world. They would be born again in Valheim. So basically, I think Midgard is just another place for Earth, and we are the chosen ones. Well, I mean, we are one of the chosen ones. Really, look at this big, scary crow, bird-looking thing. I think it looks like a person, really, wearing a mask with wings. So you can see with the 2-layer there. And he's carrying us to the map. And like I said, each map is randomly generated as long as you don't copy any other seeds per se. But if you copy the seeds, then more or less then we'll have the same. the game does suffer a lot of FPS drop. So, because this is a very ambitious project, really. So here we are. So press tab to open your inventory. You start off with a torch. Basic interface. This is your crafting interface here. Valheim Compendium. So this will show you the effects that you currently have. So wet, because it's raining, gives you minus 25% health regen and 15% reduction on stamina regen. Damage modifier: resistant versus fire, weak versus frost, weak versus lightning. You are wet. Just a message log on what is happening in the world. This is your skills. So this is one of the things that I actually like in Valheim. Each skills can be learned by just doing the action. Say if you are holding a club and you start clubbing people or hitting animals or monsters here, then it'll increase the level. Same with blocking. If you keep on blocking, then the level will increase. Running, jumping, all those good stuff will have experience as you slowly notice. Trophies, it will show you the trophies that you get in the game. PvP for people that are in the world, just since I am the host of the server, I can enable it or disable it. Okay, so this is the starting area. This is what it's called, the sacrificial stones. So the main point of the game is to defeat, how many bosses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 gods, so to say, in this world. So Hugin is our little tutorial crow here. Welcome to the 10th World Warrior. I am Hugin, sent here to guide you in your travels. The megaliths around you are the sacrificial stones. They represent the Forsaken, which you must slay in order to ascend to Valhalla. And as you know, Valhalla is heaven. So they're called the Forsaken, I guess, not gods. These magical stones were scattered throughout the lands by Odin as signposts pointing towards the ritual grounds of the Forsaken. If inspected closer, this will reveal the summoning place of Iketir, your first prey. He is a mighty beast, so you need to properly arm yourself before attempting to defeat him. So the other thing here, basically Valheim just throws you into the mix, doesn't really give you anything of sorts. This guy will actually just give you like rough guidance. I'd say he is a tutorial bird, so how to do things. So when you click this runestone, it will show you where Iketir is located. So that's where we need to go, and eventually beat the first prey. Most items must be crafted, however, due to your recent departure from Midgard, you will have to recall the true shape of objects. Just pick things up and it will come back to you. I'm sure my lesser brother Munin tells me one can fashion a stone axe out of wood and stone. So that is a little guide here. So we need to get some wood and stone. So stones is a little tricky to get because they are just on the ground, but I've found out in like hilly faces like this, there's a bit of stone right on the patch, because you cannot gather stone from these stones yet until you get a pickaxe. You're gonna get a couple stones. I think for the pickaxe you need 4 stones, which we have 5 now. And wood we can get by punching these small trees. We can't punch the big ones quite yet. You need an axe. There you go. So unarmed, if you want to fight bare arm. The skill do level pretty quick in the early game, but they do taper off once it goes to a higher level. And here we are. Here we see our first enemy, the Greylings. Can't craft a club yet, so we might have to fight them barehanded. So the fighting here kind of reminds me of like Souls game per se. Dodging and blocking will be your main thing here. Once you get better equipment, it gets so much easier. And these guys just won't give up on me too. And so just on the screen here, on the upper right is the map. When you click M, it will enlarge it. On the lower left is our, how do you call it? Health bar and stamina bar. Or food bar, sorry. The game, you won't really get hungry in this game, but if you eat food, your health will increase and your stamina increases too. And you can only eat 3 food at a time, and it can't be 2 consecutive food of the same type. It has to be 2 different food. And each food has its own effects and duration and benefits. So right now we don't have any food, so I can't really show it to you, but once we get like food here. We'll get going. Okay, here we go. Miley's going ham again. Okay, now we got our stone axe. Now we can start chopping some big trees here. So, the first few things there that you want to do is get your stone axe and then craft your workbench. So, we need to arm ourselves to properly beat the boss, which is Ekite, the first boss that we need to fight. And Milo is just going ham. So, yeah. So, be careful of this falling logs because they can kill you. Oh, there's our second prey. So, our axe can level up by hitting enemies, but wood cutting itself needs to be used in woods. It won't level up the same way. There we go. So, cut the big log to 2 separate logs, and then cut this to get the wood. Like I said, the game just really kind of throws you into the game without telling you much, which is kind of hard and kind of like it doesn't hold you in the by the hand. So you really have to get into it or start reading into random stuff or like the wiki to get into it. I do apologize on the dog just in the background here. I'll try to edit this out. Here we go. I think I found some raspberries here. So that's our first food source. So don't break the bushes where the raspberry grows because they can respawn, and they will. So Higgin here. So Higgin just usually spawns when he has to tell you something important. So you have found a snack. Consider it to improve your health and stamina. Be aware that before long you'll grow hungry again. So try to at least have a couple of different meals ready. Okay. So go to inventory by pressing tab. Then raspberry, sweet and delicious. Weight is 4. There is a weight limit here, and this is your defense total armor. And then this is your weight limit. You can only carry until your weight. Each item has its own different weights. Health plus 10, stamina 20, duration 600 seconds, and healing is 1 HP per tick. And per tick, it doesn't necessarily mean per second. I don't know the real value of the tick. So it might actually be longer than... Yeah. I might just have to hold on for a second here to just get my dog because I can't really stream with it. I'm probably just gonna cut this off. You guys are wondering, here is my dog. Here's a Frenchie, about almost 2 years old. I might have to play with him while holding him because he is a bit uneasy for some reason. So let's get going. So you see that in the distance, the deer. We can try and kill it, but they usually run off at the first sight of people. But you can sneak by pressing control. There you go, they're gonna start running. So the best way to fight them is actually by getting a bow. And that's what we want to do anyway. So I want to build a base where there is a... we got mushrooms too. Out of the forest, so this will increase my stamina further and my health bar. So might as well eat it. But it's only half this duration of the raspberry. Oh, sorry, it's the same. Awesome. I want to make it in a clear space because I don't want to like start chopping down this forest. The more spacious it is, the more that you can expand your base. And building a base is one of the most basic things that you want to start off when playing Valheim, because you can't build anything without a base. Okay. So when exploring world, just like Minecraft, basically the world generates itself, so it might drop a few FPS here. And if you see on the upper right, I am playing at around 40-50 FPS depending on how how much in the world there is. And to be honest, you can... Oh, there's a boar. First animal that we could fight. Doesn't really need anything. They come charging straight at you, but if they drop at a certain health bar, they'll start running away from you. But usually you can kill it in 2 or 3 hits. Okay. I'm just going off in the open area here. And honestly, you can lower the graphics because, like I said, I'll probably do it. Let's lower it also. It increases my FPS. Okay, that looks uglier than I can. But I mean, like I said, it's not its selling point really, so it doesn't really matter for me. As long as I can get like a few FPS here and there. Okay, I'm just gathering random stuff here. I guess I can see the stones clearly too, which is awesome. Because it is a bit hard to get stones in the early game. I remember starting off my first world and it took me a long time to find stones. So the railing, and if you click right mouse button, you can block. But obviously blocking with your own weapon is not the best too. You have to create a shield to get the maximum block there. So the only thing that worries about me in this area, it's not flat. Down there is pretty flat. That might be a good spot. There's quite a few trees there, and the ocean is right there too. Yeah, the only other thing is, well, it's not really that far anyway. Because you want flat, because the game does have an physics incorporated with its building aspect. So if the place is uneven, you might just crash and burn. There's a couple alligators here. Iguanas, as my friend said it. Kind of looks, yeah, sure. Kind of looks like iguana more than. I guess that's the downside of lowering the draw distance. You can't really see anything much in a distance. That's okay. I guess we can build here. So what you want to do is craft a hammer. A hammer is needed to craft the workbench or anything really. There's a couple boars there that we'll get killed too. Hail warrior. Can't click you though. Why can't I click you? Oh, because I'm holding the hammer. With this tool, you will raise mighty halls and towering fortifications. Start by building more systems and be able to construct other things. And as you can see here, guys, there's a couple boars here, and I think the reason is because of this runestone. So that will be very important. But first off, I probably won't build here then because of the runestone. This runestone will be very, very key in getting these boars. Because you need the boars to craft a bow, and you need 8 leather scraps, and you usually get 1 or 2 per boar you kill. One here. One here, little pig. Dang it. Okay, I'll get this one. And as I said, they usually come running at you. But it looks like this guy's just running away from me. Oh, okay, he's coming back. Coming for vengeance. Okay, he did come back. Eventually, though. So we got a boar trophy. So when you read the runestone here, it'll tell you. So you want to find this runestone here if you want to find boars. The keyword here is look also the wild boar who roam the land. So they usually spawn around this runestone. So what I'll do is probably put a marker here. Oh, put a marker, click one of these and double click. Then write boar. Or you can boar runestone, whatever you want to call it. Want to make it more simplified. I don't know if it will affect the runestone if I create the base super close to it, but I won't really risk it, I suppose. So I'll just build it a little bit off on the right here. You can level this area later on once you get the hoe anyways and the pickaxe, so it doesn't really... There you go. So when you have the workbench here, it'll show you what the range of the base that you can build in. So you can only make the base around the perimeter that you see here. So the workbench allows you to craft complex items such as well as giving you the access to a lot more building pieces. Okay. So next, you can't really use the workbench unless it has a roof on top of it. So that's another thing. So we'll build a very basic house here, really, just to start off, and we'll probably expand it. So the only thing here, building is a little bit tricky because there's no snapping tool as far as I know. You just really have to line it up with the floors here. And later on, if my, because I think I'm blocking it. Small house will be fine. Maybe a 4x4 is our gig here. So it is wise to build a little foundation because, like I said, there's a little physics in this game. So when you see the blocks here, it says green. Like blue is like the perfect foundation strength that it has. I don't know other ways. Green is still pretty good, but orange here, see here, it is dangerous to build on top of it. So what I might do is put like a little pole here. Here, there you go, just to hold it and see it turns green. So that means it's well supported. So it's a little bit realistic in that sense, which is awesome, but really challenges your creativity. And if you follow me already, you probably already know that I'm not the most creative person there is. Oh, got some feathers there, which will be important in crafting flint arrows later on. And we need to eat meat. So you see it on the lower left, the items are flickering. So that means it's just time to eat some more meals. You see, damage used 0.1. That doesn't seem a lot, but if it actually falls on top of your head, that can definitely kill you. So the early game really revolves around getting raw materials, starting off your base, getting ready for your first boss fight, which might take a while, really. Since our first stone axe is already beaten down, can't really repair it yet without the workbench, so I'll just create a new one. So 18 wood doesn't really, not a whole lot, but so gonna make a couple walls here. Probably put the, do we want to face here? There, probably here. Just the door. The only thing that kind of sucks here, it's when it's dark, it's really dark, and there's no brightness option here. So yeah, there's double checking just in case. And you can't hold the torch too while you're holding the, see, I built that wrong way. What if you middle mouse button the material, it will dismantle. You get 100% of the materials back. That was the last bit of our wood. So you can hold a torch while you're holding your axe though. Cutting the small trees is faster. But once you get like better axes, better wood cutting skills, cutting these trees will be such an easy, breezy action. And sometimes what I figured out a little trick, if you can, see there, if it hits another tree, it will fall down. So you don't have to cut it again. So that's one nice little trick. It's not something you can control really, it's just per luck. Or if it's if you're in a nice forest, like all trees are clumped together, that'll be so much easier to do. Nighttime really here isn't really dangerous in the first few hours of the game, so we can definitely use our time here and just cutting some more trees. But monsters do spawn, like the Greylings and the Grey Dwarfs. Spawn often at night. And there you go. It's night. And little Hoog in here is going to tell us something about it. He'll probably tell us to build a bed. When the temperature drops at night, or if you're wet, you'll suffer from being cold. That reduces your stamina regeneration. Seeking shelter by an open plate is your best option when this happens. They didn't really tell us about anything else. So the one thing that I love about this game is that Tree of Life, or I think it's what it's called is the Yggdrasil. Just scaling the heavens there. See, it's so dark. And we can't really build anything. Oh, build that maybe. Give us a little bit light. But we can't really sleep without a roof, so how to do this fast. It's one thing that kind of bugs me, but as long as you close it down, it should be fine. As long as it's overlapping, it still counts like it's a solid wall. Maybe I'll just build like a tiny hut like. Go. Just one up. Build this just to cover the roof. So it's green right now, which is perfect for what we have. There you go. Great. That's our house. What I want to build next is a bed. Right there. Will tell us what we need. Sleep the night away in your bed and fully awaken feeling refreshed and full of energy. Another improvement to your house will be some chests where you can store items. In great practice, always have some spare equipment. Something unfortunate should happen to you while exploring. So claim the bed, sleep, bed needs a nearby fire, and this doesn't really count as a fire, which I don't understand. So what we need to do is break one of these floors and then build a campfire. There you go, camp that. Then you can sleep now. Small base like this is okay. You dream of a river running uphill of green shoots turning downwards into the earth. What a lovely dream my character is having. Okay. So it is still dusk outside, but what we want to do is probably move the workbench to the inside. So just grab your hammer, middle right click. We might want to build a there though, but since we remove the workbench, we can't do that anymore. So we will expand this later on because there you go. So this is the workbench. So so the only thing you can craft by your hand is this 4 tools as far as I'm aware. But if you have your workbench, it will let you craft more items. Same thing that you can craft by your hands, but crude bow we can craft now, but we need 8 leather scraps, 10 wood. And wooden arrow is what we need. Then, when you click this button, it will repair all the items except the torch. Which is great. And what we need. I don't know if you can see Milo. It's not on the camera, but he's like standing up. Here, I'll just move it so you can see. He's just right there. He's so cute. Okay, so we'll cut down a little bit of tree here. This one is just like a huge stump, or like the base of the tree. Get a couple wood from there. Don't really need that much for now. I'm just getting stuff to build a stairs there because I didn't realize that it was such a high ground. There you go. There you go. That's our basic home for this game. We're starting in a really good place here. Built our first base on the first day already. So yeah, I think this will end the episode, guys. I hope you like this new series, and if you do, Don't forget to click like, comment, and subscribe, and click the notification bell to see my next upload. And until then, bye!